H1. Something truly rotten on tunes2tube.com. H1. You ever upload audio? I have. I work as an audio engineer professionally, but I like to make music as a hobby. I don't really use things like SoundCloud, and Spotify is a no-go. So I normally just upload my stuff to Bandcamp and YouTube. Even though I work as an audio engineer, I get really lazy sometimes. I can't bother putting my audio through Premiere and putting an image on it, render it, yada yada. I know it's very quick, but most of the time I can't be bothered, especially if I already spend hours making the songs. So I normally use this site, tunes2tube.com, which is basically just a website that lets you upload an audio and an image, and it will automatically turn it into a YouTube video. I had been using this service for a while now, without issue. Just upload the audio and the cover art and title and such, easy. So that's why it was so much more disturbing that all of a sudden, indescribable horrid things started happening to me. I got sick. It wasn't anything unusual, just a cold. It was annoying, but I could deal with it. I just kind of woke up like that one day, which isn't unusual, right? People wake up sick all the time. That's just something that happens. You go to sleep and you accidentally left your window open or something and you got sick. Normal. The symptoms weren't anything unusual either. Coughing, sneezing, phlegm. So naturally, again, I didn't even find a reason to go to the doctor. It would have been a hassle at that point. I'll sleep it off. At first, I thought it was just some spam mail that didn't get caught by Gmail's spam folder. But then they started piling up, more and more, until it was covering all of my screen. All of the emails were coming for an account whose email address I'm not going to name, but their display name was, "Do you like Tunes?" And all of their emails were comprised of random text characters. I tried reporting and blocking this user, but every time I did, a different account would pop up. It was useless. A motherfucking fool's errand. This was creepy, strange. It definitely bricked my email, and that kind of sucked, but apart from that, it was mostly just an annoyance. My sickness started getting worse after this. I felt dizzy and tired all the time. The coughing got worse, but what really started fully affecting me was the sneezing. The goddamn sneezing. I couldn't stop doing it to the point it was hindering not only my day-to-day, but my work. It got really bad, so I had to finally take a sick day off work. I tried any medicine that I had at my house. None of them really helped, although I didn't really expected them to do so. I went to the doctor to have an appointment, and I was starting to wonder if it would have been COVID. I don't go out a lot, and my job is fully online, but it was still a concern. The doctors quickly tested me and denied it was COVID. They thought I had a really bad cold, or even the flu, but they couldn't really pinpoint anything specific, so they just gave me a few shots and medicine and told me to rest. I couldn't stop sneezing when going back to my apartment. After a few days of doing nothing and sleeping, I decided to just try to make a song. Maybe it could lift my spirits or something, so I made a quick little 3-minute tune, saved it as an MP3, and directly went into tunes2tube.com. Immediately after, I typed the address and pressed enter on my keyboard. I felt a burning, suffocating sensation right in the middle of my throat. As I felt a bodily urge to vomit, I started gagging onto my desk until the regurgitation made what I could only describe as a slob of mucus and phlegm slither out of my mouth like a worm onto my keyboard. I screamed, which only made my throat hurt more. I coughed for almost a solid minute. When I was done burning my throat out, I shakily looked back onto my keyboard, staring at this sack-like spread of green jelly that came out of me. It seemed to have things wriggling inside it, amoebas. After silently staring at it for 2 minutes or so, I carefully stood up to get a paper towel to clean it. I kind of wasn't really there, mentally, I mean. I did all of that automatically, while thinking to myself how that thing even came out of me, and why, although those thoughts wouldn't even get a chance to stay in my mind, as when I came back with the towel, it wasn't there anymore. Just a wet mark on my keyboard. I sat down, kind of in shock. I changed my view to stare at the screen, seeing the website. Upload. While I was staring at the screen in silence, I sneezed 3 times in a row, and so I clicked the button. I tried telling my doctor on my next appointment about this, and all he gave me was a confused look. Most of the time, phlegm isn't bigger than 5 centimeters, and the one I described must have been at least 10 or 9. He asked me if I was doing okay. I'll sleep it off. I went back home and laid down in my bed, the shimmering light of my computer illuminating my room. I didn't leave my computer on, did I? Did I? I stood up to directly look at the screen, and there it was. Upload. I needed to vomit. I went directly to my bathroom and laid down onto my toilet as I puked out my insides out. But what was coming out wasn't any of my intestinal contents, it was phlegm. Vile. Pus. A lot of it, and it wouldn't stop. After that I started sneezing while vomiting, and I kept doing it, and it kept happening. My entire bathroom floor is now covered in secretions and green moving mucus. My face and hands covered in a slimy substance. It wouldn't stop. I heard an extremely loud screeching noise coming out of my room. I screamed, but the only thing that would come out would be thick sludge, until a new substance started crawling out of my mouth, a black, disgusting mass of what I can only call rot. I vomited for real that time. I saw something red fall onto my floor. I thought it was something that came out of my esophagus, something I ate, something that these secretions were generating. But no, it was something else. I touched my face. I could feel my fingers inside me. Half of it came off. Where my left eye and one side of my mouth used to be, now laid a crusty yellow solid slab. What appeared to be calcified flesh was what half of me looked like now. I stared at myself in the mirror, a combination of green and yellow, snot and phlegm, covering both my normal skin and the crust, with a touch of black spreading through the still living tissue. I sneezed, which caused some of the crust to break off. I haven't been able to make the screeching noise stop, and my computer won't turn off, so I might as well post this here. This is supposed to be a forum for weird stuff, right? I haven't been able to stop sneezing. It was actually very hard to write this. I've also been scraping the crust off my face, which I know I probably shouldn't do, but it just itches so much. My door doesn't open. I've tried screaming if anybody was there, but nobody has responded. I live in the ninth floor, so getting out through the window was already a bad idea. But when I went to check to see if there was anything I could do, the window didn't open, and all I could see outside was black. Not darkness, black. The color. My phone doesn't work. The screen is stuck and displays purely green, and my internet access seems to be spotty and not working properly. I can access this forum and Tunes2Tube, YouTube too, but every other site just leads to a connection error or doesn't load properly. Every browser other than Firefox seems to not even work at all. My computer is not only doing a screeching sound, but the disk usage is peaking at almost 100%. It seems to be constantly automatically uploading a bunch of weird audio files to tunes2tube.com. My machine is overheating, and I don't think the constant spraying of mucus over it is helping. The skin on my right arm is moving. Skin on my right arm is moving. Fuck, I can barely write. I'll be fine, it doesn't hurt. What? Just right now as I'm writing this sentence, my second monitor started displaying something. It's green. It says, Optimin, fuck, H just sneezed. It's cray. There's an arm coming out of my screen. It's in my eye. It's in my eye. My skin is rot. My skin is green. It's in my ears. I think I'll sleep it off.